Hi, welcome guys. Chris Petri here. Welcome to my channel. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, you're probably wondering, what is this guy doing now? I'll tell you what I'm doing. We're going to go over just a real quick, simple design element in our painting and drawing. Of course, I always like to try to maybe bring you like three different types of style here. Painting, drawing, and then as well as some design ideas. So I'm just working with pencil and a very important very pointy synthetic brush. This came right with my $5 paint set I got at the local Blix Art Supply in New Jersey. Great place to shop to get your art supplies. Okay guys, now so these are the only two things I'm going to use here, and then as well as my paints. They're to the side over here. Not a real, I use inexpensive, a lot of times inexpensive little paint kits you can buy at the hobby stores or art store supplies. So in any case, it's not really important that you see that, so I have it zoomed in on the paper actually, so you can actually see what I'm doing here on the paper. Okay, so let's start out here. I'm only going to use a few colors and it's more of, I want to zoom in on what I'm doing actually here so you can really see how I go about creating a painting. You've maybe seen some of my other videos. I encourage you to go there and check out. I do a lot of different styles. I've been painting for like 10 years, so I've tried all different kind of things, so I try to bring a little bit of different ideas to my YouTube video, so you guys can just see all the different things I do, and maybe encourage, it'll just be a fun thing if you try different things to see what you like. But here, this is a starburst design. I don't know if you can see this on camera. You should be able to, but basically I just put some lines on my paper, on my tape actually. So I usually tape around what I'm going to do first on my watercolor paper, and I made this into fourths. So half, 3/4, so like a inch, like if you say this is an inch, ½ inch, 1/4 inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch, all the way around. Same thing on both sides. So I'm just dividing my paper into quarters, let's say, both ways. So basically it's a grid, like a checkerboard grid. And then I picked one spot here, the quarter. Let's say if we're going upwards, the first quarter, I made my marks over here around my first 1/4 of an inch. Let's say if we're calling this an inch by an inch, the first 1/4 of an inch, I went with my horizon line and I put a line across. That's my first start. Okay, that's my horizon, my distance, the mountains, the where the ocean is, the level line in the picture, the horizon line. Then I said, okay, what's next? Well, we got our vertical lines that go across the page, and we have the same thing: 1/4 inch, ½ inch, 3/4 inch, 1 inch. Same idea, fourths, like a checkerboard again. So I said, okay, I'm going to go right down the middle with this and make my center point right here. Okay, so that's the center of my picture. That's the horizon line. And this might be something a lot like where someone that's maybe going to think about going into like creating video games or something, and designing video games on computers. It would be good to like start thinking about this type of idea of laying stuff out on a picture. So this could be a TV screen, this could be a camera, this obviously is a canvas or a watercolor paper. But here we go. So I'm just going to use this and just, here's the buildings, and they follow that star. That's the star pattern. We call that the sunburst or the star pattern. Everything works off that center point, and you got your vertical lines, they all run this way. So I'm just lightly sketching this. And then your parallel lines, they all run the same way. And then as you go into the distance to that center point, which we determined, one center point, everything starbursts or funnels down into that point. So here we go, we got buildings. So I'm just doing a quick, nice buildings here going off in the distance. And then we got more over here, and then we'll just say there's another building there. We'll just go straight up with that building like that. And then let's say we have a road. Here we go. There's the road. Maybe there's some mountains in the distance. Okay, so then we have mountains, and then we have the horizon line. Okay, so now this is just a real simple design element in the painting, and then we can just get right into the paints here. And I'm going to use a flat brush first to start off out with to do the sky. Real simple. A little bit of water, a little bit of blue paint, that's all. A little bit of water, a little bit of blue paint, and then we're just doing simple strokes across the page. We're going to leave the buildings white, and we'll leave the sky blue. And then as the sky gets further into the distance, it gets lighter. So maybe I'll just add a little extra water to my blue mixture here of paint and make it lighter. And then that'll give you the effect of the sky in the distance getting lighter. And then also, as the sky goes into the distance far away, see that starburst and how everything is, that's the way far distance out there in the wild blue yonder. Actually, it gets a little bit, the sky gets a little bit warmer in color. When I say warmer, that's more like yellows and reds versus blues and greens, which are cooler. So then I mix a little bit of orange with my blue to give it that bluey orange color toward the horizon, toward the distance. And all that really is just the heat and the reflection of the green or desert sand on the Earth's surface reflects up into the atmosphere, and you can see it more in the distance than you can when you're looking straight up. When you're looking straight up or closer to you up here, you're seeing more of the upper atmosphere, whereas when you're looking in the distance, you're seeing actually a greater portion of the whole atmosphere as a whole, and then you'll see the warmer colors toward the Earth, because the Earth is warmer and the sky is cooler because that's further away from the Earth. So, okay, a little bit of theory there. I don't want to bore you with that. Okay, so now the road is going to be, let's say, pavement, like a road. So pavement, you would add just a little bit of brown to the blue, and that should give you a pretty good pavement color. Brown and blue mixed together, the pavement will reflect the sky a little bit. Maybe a touch of purple. Touch of purple in that blue and brown mix will give you the, I think, the perfect kind of pavement color maybe. Let's take a look. That's pretty good. Let's do some lines here. So, lines in the road. Really simple, just following that star pattern all the way around. Very simple. And we go here, like that. Square brushes are great. They're very simple to handle, and they give you great straight lines for practicing design. There we go, see that? All right, later on when this dries, you can add in some yellow in there, but for just doing this kind of quick, we can just leave it like that, white. Oh, there are white lines too. All right, now let's do some purple mountains. Now I'm going to start another purple mixture over here. I don't want to keep mixing in the same puddle of paint. So now I'm going to just do a quick cleanup here. I'm using the same color, so I'm using the same color, so I don't have to worry about taking away colors that I already used in my painting. I know I'm just using like 3 colors basically, so it won't affect the painting whatsoever. All right, here we go. Some purple mountains. And guys, I purposely leave a little bit of white space by the sky so that this doesn't start leaking into the sky. Okay, so that's it. Now, let's say that's sand on the side of the road there. Let's go back to our square brush quickly. Okay, so here, let's say it's a thicker paint. You want to use a little thicker paint here. That's our sand on the side of the road, let's say. It's a sandy road here. Okay, and then again we said as things go off into the distance, they get lighter. So So let's make that yellow mixture a little bit lighter. I notice in video games and things like that, like they tend to use all these principles, just it's in computer form, so it's not as apparent. When you're doing it on a painting, it's a little more crude looking, let's say, or rough looking, but it's still the same idea. So now we have those white buildings there. Let's say that for simplicity's sake, they're just going to be a mixture of blues and yellows. Let's do the mixture of the yellows here, the golds. I'm using 3 different colors, yellow ochre for the yellows, the gold color, and I'm using cobalt blue for the sky color, and then I'm using a little bit of ultramarine violet for the purple. It's not too bad. Good purple there. So I'm just adding a little bit of purple there. Give it a little variation. It's good to keep things a little bit, to add a little bit of interest to larger areas. It's better to add different colors here and there to give it some interesting look versus just one color of the same type. So I just add a little blue up here for the sky, reflecting sky color on the top of the building, and then in the bottom of the building, I added a little bit of that purple, ultramarine violet. All right, now, hopefully this will dry fast. Okay, it should be drying pretty fast. I feel a summer breeze coming through the window. Good old summer breeze, here it is. And then now guys, just a little, look at how easy that is, quick. And then obviously, here again, we're working with the principle that everything is going away from us as we're looking down this road. So the building, the windows are smaller over here because they're further away, and then the windows are bigger over here because they're closer. So everything follows that same principle of as it goes into the distance, it gets smaller and smaller. Just like the lines in the road get smaller and smaller, the road gets narrower and narrower, if that's a word. And then maybe a door over here and a door over here. And you can just work in some darker colors, maybe just some more blue and brown mixed for a little darker color. Just a little touch here and there. Closer up. Okay, so closer up you would see maybe some of the darker colors. Further in the distance you won't see that too much. As things go into the distance, they get more faded looking. So things get lighter as they go in the distance, and they're darker and more vibrant in the foreground here. All right, guys, I hope you like that. I hope that helps you when you're thinking about designing your painting and colors and how the watercolor works and different types of things we use, brushes, pencils. 3 types of art supply items here. Square brush, round brush with a nice point, and a nice pencil. Okay guys, thanks. I will see you soon on the next video. Bye.